the boy's body is full of ants. He is trying to prevent these ants from running around. Normally, he can only use band-aids to seal the openings. That day, he let the ant eat a larva. As these ants returned to his body after eating, Ryan's body underwent a strange change. The ants seemed to break free from Ryan's control, causing him unbearable pain. On the other side, Ariel brought Alice back to the club. The boss here is none other than strongman Cody. He noticed that Ariel's arm was wrapped in bandages. So he asked her if something had happened. Ariel explained that it was just a misunderstanding with a client. "What is the purpose of you bringing me here?" Cody said the club lost 50 pills yesterday. "Do you know what happened?" Ariel said it's your fault for not guarding properly. Alice beside remained silent. At this moment, Cody stood up. The next second, he disappeared from where he stood. When he reappeared, he had already pinned Alice against the wall. "You are quite daring to steal my medicine." Cody was furious at this time. He threatened to eat Alice right away. But he was suddenly pressed by a golden needle on his neck. Two bug girls quickly rushed forward to protect the master when they saw this. They placed knife hand against Ariel's neck. But Ariel remained completely calm. She also threatened Cody. "If you dare to move, you are finished." Cody just smiled slightly at this. He continued to inquire about the whereabouts of Pill, and increased the strength of his grip. Ariel also did not hesitate to stab the golden needle into Cody's neck. She seems to really care about Alice being hurt. But she couldn't stop this crazy man at all. Alice, who couldn't bear it anymore, finally admitted that she took the pill. "But I was just seeking revenge." Cody finally smiled in satisfaction after hearing that. "Actually, I knew it was you who took the pill a long time ago. And I also know what you used it for." He said that, then he put down Alice. Ariel hurried to Alice's side and inquired about her injuries with concern. Cody on the side was laughing madly. "How could you, this little girl, have such a brilliant idea? You will soon meet your old classmates. They are on their way. What changes would occur if someone took 50 pills?" And at this moment, Eric, who has turned into Bug Beast, is frantically fleeing. Several combat personnel from the Reaper department are closely following. Soon they caught up with Eric, swords and weapons constantly attacking him. He wanted to beg for mercy, but could only let out helpless cries. As Captain's hand rose and fell with a knife, Eric also finally lost his resistance. Afterwards, Captain ordered everyone to recover the body. But at this moment, the ground suddenly started shaking. Captain turned around at the sound. He found that half of his team members were stuck in the mud pit. There were also two unfamiliar figures appearing ahead. At this time, the captain realized that the newcomers were unfriendly. So he inquired about their identities. But Camel ignored the man and had Kid take the body away. However, Kid disagreed because he wanted to get rid of the humans in front of him. In the blink of an eye, the soil controlled by Kid was about to swallow two Reaper team members. Captain not only did not attack upon seeing this, but also withdrew his own long sword. He even leisurely lit a cigarette. This scene not only stunned the enemies across from him. The team members also couldn't understand Captain's intentions. They just saw Captain calmly saying, "I'm wondering why you all are going to such lengths to obtain this body." No one noticed that the red mark on his scabbard had turned green. Your squad mate is almost out of time, and you're still thinking about such boring questions. Do you really have the heart to watch them lose their lives? Upon hearing this, the captain finally raised his weapon and aimed at the enemy. Kid was a bit puzzled by this. Can you actually attack us from such a distance? Just as Camel was about to warn him to be careful, Kid was hit by a green electrical flow. Seeing his companion fall in front of him, the angry Camel instantly activated beautification. You despicable human. At this time, Captain was not idle either. He powered up again and shot the electrical flow towards the opponent. Camel waved his knife hand when he saw the situation. He thought he had successfully blocked this blow. But the next second, he felt shocked. Is it useless even if you block this thing? The team members took this opportunity to climb upwards desperately. Captain suddenly disappeared from the spot with a leap. At the moment he rushed toward Camel, he instructed the team members to retrieve the body, ensuring it would not fall into the hands of the enemy. As soon as his words fell, the weapons of the two clashed together. With just one strike, the captain knew that this was definitely a dangerous guy. Camel also drew the other long sword behind him. But the two had similar strength. Neither could overpower the other in a short time. Camel doesn't want to waste time. He immediately exerted all his strength and swung his sword at Captain. Feeling the opponent's powerful attack, Captain couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Just saw Captain taking a puff and inhaling the entire cigarette in one breath. Then he exhaled smoke and enveloped Camel in it. However, Camel showed a look of disdain and dispersed the smoke with a single swing of his knife. Yet Captain in front of him was nowhere to be found. The sudden sound of electrical flow behind him alerted him. But just as he turned around to check the situation, he was struck hard by Captain's sharp knife. But fortunately, this was not a fatal blow. Captain asks again about their intentions to get the body. But vibrations came again under his feet. Captain, who sensed danger, immediately leaped backward. Unexpectedly, what awaited him below was precisely at that moment. There was no escape for him. Fortunately, Squadmate arrived in time to block this dangerous blow. However, right after that, another red spike emerged from the ground, piercing through one Squadmate's body. It was then that he realized it was the gullet with teeth. Before a few people could react, the bald man was thrown into the air. Then he was thrown into the mud pit. Camel finally realized that Kid had been pretending to be dead all along. The boy who was completely transformed into a bug slowly emerged from the ground at this moment. It seems that he should be a bug beast bald man like Skyworm slowly appearing in front of everyone. The two immediately decided not to play anymore. Take away the body first, and then figure it out. Then Kid sank Eric into the quagmire. Camel asked Kid to take the body back to the club first, and he would cover their tracks. Club? That is the only information Captain received today. The opponent is about to flee. Captain raised his weapon at them again. But to his surprise, the scabbard has run out of power. At this moment, the surrounding buildings also began to tremble continuously. Then the building began to collapse. The squadmate quickly called for the captain to retreat. The captain let them go first. Instead, he rushed towards the center of the collapse. Soon, he stepped on the stones and reached Camel. Camel was ready for battle. Unexpectedly, the captain only wanted to rescue his squadmate. Watching the enemy sink, the captain felt helpless. He could only evacuate the area with his squadmate. However, next he will thoroughly investigate the club in this area. Now it's our turn to hunt. A black ant is riding on the yellow bug beast. Upon closer inspection, they are not reproducing, but the black ant is gnawing at the flesh of the other. At this moment, Ryan is quietly watching from the side. Ever since he ate that egg last time, Ryan found that the number of ants inside his body has increased a lot. As his body's vessel capacity is limited, this strange black ant split out. Ryan failed after several attempts at fusion. He could only dispatch an ant captain to control this black beast. At this moment, the black ant finished eating and stood up. He came to Ryan and said, "I'm still very hungry." As soon as he finished speaking, he opened his big mouth wide in front of Ryan. Ryan punched through its head. The sent-out ant captain appeared in Ryan's hand. The scattered ants all merged back together. But at that moment, Ryan once again sensed the presence of the bug beast. And its target is just beneath the bridge tunnel not far away. To test his current strength, Ryan decided to go meet them. Just as he was rushing towards the other party, he suddenly sensed the disappearance of the aura of a bug beast. Soon, Ryan arrived near the bridge tunnel. He then concealed his aura and looked into the tunnel. He found a bug beast's corpse lying under the feet of a rhino beast. The culprit is the red ladybug beast across from him. Because there are too many rules in the club. I can only invite you out for a practice match. After saying that, he once again took a fighting stance. Rhino Beast couldn't help but get angry upon hearing this. Just because it's a practice match, you killed my companion. Seeing this, it leaped like a cannonball towards Ladybug Beast. Ladybug Beast just made a small move to dodge this strike. Rhino Beast used the wall as a fulcrum point, then turned around to charge again. Ladybug Beast chose to face it head-on this time. It clenched its powerful fist. After dodging Rhino Beast's charge, it struck back with a punch that pierced through the opponent's body. In the end, Rhino Beast went down in defeat. Ladybug Beast shook off the bloodstains from its hand and turned its head expressionlessly. The person who is lurking in the dark watching the fight can come out now. Even if he doesn't say it, Ryan will show up. Because his purpose in coming here is to test his current strength. It is not difficult to notice that at this moment, Ryan's armor is more domineering than before. After staring at each other for a long time, Ladybug Beast took the initiative to attack. Ryan chose not to dodge but resisted the blow. Ladybug Beast couldn't help but be secretly shocked because its fist was suddenly bitten by another ant that appeared next to Ryan. Ladybug Beast, who had never seen such a situation before, immediately withdrew. You scared me. What kind of monster are you? My name is Black Ant. This should be the last name you hear before you die. Ladybug Beast became even more excited after hearing this. The recent accident has instead triggered its combative mentality. It swung its fists again and charged towards Ryan, but not a single punch touched Ryan even after dozens of them in a row. And Ryan did not retaliate. This made Ladybug Beast somewhat irritated. Are you trying to play tricks on me? Immediately, it launched another heavy punch. When Ryan dodged this attack, he finally clenched his fist to retaliate. However, Ladybug Beast had already seen through Ryan's movements. At this moment, Ryan's fist was swinging out at a speed invisible to the naked eye. Ladybug Beast quickly assumed a defensive posture. But it was still hit in the face by a punch. Instantly, its body flew backwards like a bullet. Ladybug Beast was obviously stunned by Ryan. His strength and speed were beyond its expectations. At this moment, Ryan was looking down on it from above. Tell me your name before you die. Ladybug Beast felt insulted and completely enraged. It stood up and collided its fists together. Ryan's attack followed suit. However, his fist landed on a barrier. And this red barrier was expanding continuously. With a roar from Ladybug Beast, Ryan was shaken and flung out forcefully. At this moment, a bus happened to pass by right above the bridge tunnel. However, the bridge deck is about to collapse due to the fight between the two people. Unaware, Ryan was hit out of the bridge tunnel. Just as Ryan was about to take down the other party in one go, a runaway bus crashed through the guardrail. Ryan turned back and suddenly felt that something big was not right. So he quickly cloned himself and retreated towards the direction of the bus. Fortunately, Ryan caught the bus before it landed. However, as the entire bus pressed down on him, Ryan was struggling. At the same time, his clone was grabbed by the Ladybug Beast. If the Ladybug Beast chose to attack him at this moment, it would be very dangerous. But unexpectedly, it went up to help Ryan, and together they managed to safely place the bus on the ground. After the passengers on the bus were safely evacuated, the Ladybug Beast was already impatient. Our match can continue now. Saying that, it charged towards Ryan. And Ryan seemed unimpressed by the opponent. He casually raised his hand and blocked the opponent's attack. Then he slapped Ladybug Beast on the head with his paw. This blow directly shattered its facial armor, rendering it unable to fight back. Ryan grabbed the opponent's neck and lifted it in midair. Clone Ant stepped forward to sniff. Then, he opened his mouth wide to swallow the opponent. However, Ryan stopped him with a loud shout. He then threw it aside. After he withdrew Clone Black Ant, Ryan turned and walked away from here. Ladybug Beast struggled to open its eyes and thought, next time we meet, I must defeat you. Since Alice turned into Bug Beast, she has never appeared again. Nami searches for her whereabouts every day after school. Nami had just hung up the phone that day. Someone suddenly called out to her from behind. The person who came was Kid Troy, who had fought Reaper that day. "Is Alice your friend? I can take you to find her." Before long, Troy led Nami into a small forest. Nami was afraid that Troy would take advantage and attack her. So she asked, "Do you really know where Alice is?" Troy, listening to this, no longer concealed the truth, revealing his ugly face. "I brought you here just to eat you," Troy said. As he spoke, several larvae crawled down from the trees. "Blame it on the fact that you are Alice's friend. I really hate that guy." "If I were to eat you, she would definitely be very angry," Troy replied. In the past, they wanted to eat Alice, who had just turned into a larva. She didn't expect that she would later tell Ariel about this matter. The result was that Ariel caused them heavy losses. But they could only swallow their anger. Nami didn't want to listen to his nonsense anymore. She turned around and was about to leave this place. At this moment, Troy has already completed the beautification. It was obviously too late for her to run. Nami's body was seen slowly sinking into the mire, following Troy's command. Several larvae suddenly pounced on Nami. At this critical moment, the charging larvae were suddenly cut into several pieces by someone. The newcomer was Clara, who was angry to see the prey slipping away from her mouth again. Troy was extremely furious. Clara kept spinning and gathering energy in the air. After landing, she fiercely kicked Troy's head with her heel. The damage caused by this blow was not great, but it was highly insulting. At this time, Clara took the opportunity to pull Nami up. "Who in the world are you? Another bug beast helping humans?" Only to see Clara slowly land on Silk. She answered lightly, "I am your father." Then she turned to look at Nami and said, "I will put you down now. You should run away immediately." The moment she finished speaking, the silk holding Nami suddenly loosened. She didn't understand why the bug beast in front of her would save her. And she looked so familiar. "I told you to run. What are you still looking at?" Nami kept stepping back after hearing that. After saying, "Thank you," she turned around and fled from here. Several larvae wanted to step forward to stop Nami after seeing the situation. But they were all controlled by Clara using silk. Clara just exerted a little force and sliced those larvae into chunks of meat. Covered in blood, Clara seemed to have turned into a grim reaper harvesting bug beasts, but this also completely infuriated Troy. "You will pay the price for today's actions," Clara asked casually. "Are you a member of the Skyworm organization like Camel?" Troy couldn't help but burst into laughter at the words. "Since you know I'm with the Skyworm organization, you better surrender now." "I know it's difficult for me alone to deal with members of the Skyworm organization. But what if I consume this egg?" Troy was also shocked to see the egg in Clara's hand. "How did you get that thing?" Clara ignored the other person. She knew that in order to defeat this guy, she must place her hope on this egg. So she directly put the egg into her mouth. Troy sensed that something big was about to happen. So he transformed into 4 hard long cones and shot them at Clara. Smoke immediately rose where Clara was. Troy was very pleased at this moment. How big of a boost could just one pill provide? What a fool. But the next second, his long cone was chopped into pieces by Clara. Troy was instantly shocked. Why did just one pill make her improve so much? On the other hand, Clara has already evolved into her latest form. "Let me show you my current strength." Seeing Clara's current appearance, Troy couldn't help but feel a little doubtful, thinking, "Is she joking? Did I take fake medicine before?" Before he could react, Clara's side kick had already landed on his head. This blow directly shattered his facial armor. And Clara, before hitting the ground, also managed to chop off his arm. Troy, with a terrified expression, kept retreating. This made him more convinced that he had been fed fake medicine. To confirm his suspicion, he had to take out the enemy in front of him. So he spat out a gullet with teeth towards Clara. The gullet bit right into Clara's neck. Troy was very excited when he saw this, thinking that he had won this round. He didn't expect Clara to have no reaction at all. "Are you tickling me?" It turns out that Troy's tusk didn't even manage to pierce Clara's skin. Following that, Clara grabbed Gullet by the throat. Then she controlled Silk to wrap around Gullet. Silk quickly spread along Gullet. "Let me help you cut it into small pieces." Troy sensed that something major was amiss. He could only bite off Gullet in order to save himself. Troy immediately let out a reluctant roar. He didn't expect to be defeated so thoroughly. Then he plunged straight into the ground. Clara, on the other hand, remained calm, as if everything was under her control. The escaping Troy was still daydreaming. "When I become stronger, I must seek revenge on her." However, in the next moment, he widened his eyes in disbelief because his path was already blocked by the net thrower, Silk. In an instant, he turned into a pile of flesh and blood. Clara felt so exhilarated to experience the power of becoming stronger. However, at this moment, a person holding a blade appeared in front of her. This person is none other than Camel, whom she had clashed with before. Although at that time, both she and Ryan were almost defeated by him, now she has become stronger. Clara believes that she now has full confidence in defeating the opponent. Camel takes this opportunity to ask about the whereabouts of Black Ant. He mentioned that the sword stab he received from me still hurts faintly. "That's not a problem, as long as you die, it won't hurt anymore." As soon as her voice fell, Clara controlled Silk to shoot towards Camel. Camel obviously did not take Clara seriously. He drew out his blade and blocked Clara's attack. But he didn't realize that as soon as Silk touched blade, it instantly cracked. It was clear that the effect of the medicine was at work. Afterward, blade shattered into several pieces in front of Camel's eyes. Clara then jumped into the air. Seeing this, Camel placed his hands on the weapons behind his back. When Clara attacked, he drew his knife to block once again. But Camel was caught off guard by Clara's sudden strike. Then she followed up with another kick, sending him flying out. But this is far from enough. Just as Clara was about to deliver a fatal blow to him, she suddenly realized that her strength was fading away. Then she knelt down beside Camel. Her hair was receding at a visible rate. In the blink of an eye, her body returned to its original state. At the same time, Camel's blade was also pressed against Clara's neck. "You better come back with me obediently. I suddenly came up with an interesting game. Ryan is currently watching TV with Grandma." The sudden vibration of the phone caught his attention. When he saw the message, his face filled with anger, because the picture showed Clara wearing the armor and holding the business card of Club 6. Since Clara lost to Camel, she has become a prisoner in Club 6. She is forced into the fighting arena every day to be a spectacle for others to watch. The cruel bug beast subjects her to inhumane torture. On this day, Camel came to the cell. At this point, Clara had already been beaten to the brink of death. Camel curiously asked Clara what her purpose was, and why she didn't fight back in the fighting arena. "I choose not to fight back just to avoid being manipulated by you all," she replied. "If you want to talk about purpose, I do have one, and that is to eliminate you vermin." Camel's expression turned cold instantly upon hearing this. Before leaving, he told her that the next match was about to begin. The audience at Fighting Arena was extremely excited because the MC announced a special program. Among the 10 participants today, only one can survive. The first to enter the arena was today's protagonist, Clara. She must kill the enemy within a minute, or else another enemy will appear for every minute that passes, until Clara dies in battle, or she can defeat all opponents. Across from her, the blue beetle beast had been waiting for a long time. Instantly, it pounced on Clara upon seeing her appear. And Clara seemed to not have placed much importance on the opponent. Meanwhile, not far away on the stands, the ladybug beast, who was defeated by Ryan, was also here. In front of it was Camel, who wanted it to take action to get rid of Clara. However, the ladybug beast was disdainful of Camel's arrangement, refusing to participate in such unreasonable games. Are you insulting me? I would be willing to assist if the target were you or Cody. As soon as the words fell, the ladybug beast threw a punch at Camel. It can be seen from this that the relationship between the two is very tense. Camel was successfully provoked by the opponent. Just as the big battle was about to erupt, they were interrupted by a sudden ringing of a bell. The person calling is a staff member from the club. I don't know who it is. The elevator leading to the fighting arena has been destroyed. Camel, upon hearing the news, quietly hung up the phone. He then turned to remind Ladybug Beast that the opponent you were looking forward to has arrived. On the other side, Clara at the fighting arena has already taken out 4 opponents. But at this moment, she is already at the end of her strength. However, Claude does not give her any time to catch her breath. The 5th opponent has already appeared behind her. With his roar, exhausted Clara was kicked into the air by the opponent. Just one hit made Clara spit out blood. At the same time as she landed, she was kicked hard in the waist again. After being knocked back tens of meters, Clara obviously couldn't get up anymore. At this time, several bug beasts walked out again. They surrounded Clara in the middle. MC had already pronounced Clara's death sentence. But everyone was suddenly attracted by the strange sound coming from the entrance. They saw the head of a bug beast slowly appearing in the darkness in front of everyone. Then he was thrown to the ground by someone who mercilessly stepped on it. That person was the fiercely determined Ryan, with his clone holding a bug beast's body in its mouth. Camel in the audience also noticed the situation here. The several bug beasts on the field were also drawn to Ryan's gaze. Seeing this, MC immediately became furious and raised his huge fist to smash towards Ryan. While Ryan looked at the other party, as if he were looking at a dead person. At this point, all his clones gathered on his right hand. The light from the clone's mouth continued to spread. Ryan seized the opportunity and pulled the trigger at MC. This shot directly blasted half of the opponent's body into pieces. This is Ryan's latest plasma form, he said in a domineering tone. Dare to bully my friend, you will all die today. After saying that, he raised the ion cannon in his hand again. He directed the gathered energy towards the center of the bug beast. In the blink of an eye, another bug beast died in his hands. The powerful energy almost reached Clara beside them. You sneaky fellow. Are you trying to take advantage of the situation to get rid of me too? But as soon as she finished speaking, Clara found a sharp blade pressed against her neck. Behind her, Camel kept teasing Ryan, saying, "Come on, just shoot me already." Ryan never expected the other party to be so despicable. He didn't know what to do with his raised arm for a moment. Camel was sure the other party wouldn't dare to open fire. So he ordered Underling to take out Ryan. Seeing such a large number of enemies, Ryan dared not underestimate them, so he covered his head with armor. He immediately fired a shot. He once again took care of an enemy. Ryan then recharged again. He aimed the cannon at the largest bug beast. Then, without hesitation, he pulled the trigger. But in that critical moment, the giant bug beast grabbed a small bug beast nearby and threw it towards the incoming cannonball. The giant bug beast raised its powerful fist. Before Ryan could react, the entire body of the giant bug beast pounced on him. It pressed Ryan tightly underneath. Seeing this, Camel thought victory was within grasp, and ordered the giant bug beast to bring Ryan over. But after a long time, there was still no response from the other side. By the time he realized something was wrong, it was already too late. Only to see the face of the giant bug beast began to melt. Then an explosion blew it to pieces. And Ryan emerged unscathed from inside. Camel, who is known as the strongest combat force of the Skywarm organization, is now so frightened that he has resorted to taking a woman as a hostage. This is because Ryan's latest form has made him sense danger. In just a few rounds, he has eliminated all bug beast warriors in the fighting arena. Seeing Ryan so powerful, Camel curiously asks if you also have consumed larvae. At this time, Ryan still has a face full of killing intent. Please release my friend. With that, he slowly approached Camo. Seeing this, Camo brought Blade closer to Clara. The spectators in the stands saw the player they had bet on being taken out. They all shouted at Camo to refund their money. This instantly angered Camo, who was already furious. He slowly turned his head, his face full of killing intent, as he looked at the crowd. He then angrily shouted, "Shut up if you don't want to die!" Ryan is afraid of Clara getting hurt and dare not act rashly. At this moment, a voice suddenly called out to Ryan, "Your opponent is me!" The newcomer is the red ladybug beast. Ryan curiously asked if he had come to seek revenge on her. The ladybug beast did not respond. Instead, she charged directly towards Ryan. Ryan prepared for battle, but the ladybug beast unexpectedly bypassed Ryan and charged towards his back. Then it landed a straight punch directly on Camo's face. This punch immediately rescued Clara, who was in danger. Camo was sent flying for several meters before stabilizing himself. Camo was now completely enraged. On the side, Ryan and Clara also looked puzzled. Ladybug Beast explained that they couldn't stand Camo's actions. "I want to have a man-to-man fight with you. Leave this to me. You and your girlfriend go first. I'm only here to get back my emergency rations, but thank you anyway." With that, Ryan slung the emergency rations over his shoulder. Before Clara could react, Ryan sprinted towards the exit. Camo was very confused by Ladybug Beast's actions. "Aren't you afraid that Cody will eat you for doing this?" Ladybug Beast didn't respond, just slowly walked towards Camo. The battle between the two was about to begin. At this moment, Clara was a bit curious. How did you come down without the elevator key? But when she saw the hole, she instantly understood. Just as Ryan was about to leave this place, a sudden cascade of falling rocks from above made him feel uneasy. Just now, Eric, transformed into Bug Beast, was brought before Cody as food. Bug Girl, standing on the side, couldn't help but drool when she saw it. Cody didn't want to share with anyone. He gave the other a warning look. "As long as I eat this fleshworm, my strength should be on par with those guys above." Saying that, he grabbed the Bug Beast and prepared to enjoy it. But just then, vibrations suddenly came from the room. At the same time, a panicked underling also ran in. "Bad news! Our fighting arena has been invaded, and those people are about to escape." Upon hearing this, Cody went to the underling. "Do I have to personally deal with such a trivial matter?" The underling wanted to explain something, but the next moment, Cody pierced his head. "I don't need useless people here. It looks like I have to do some exercise before the meal." Ryan just took the first step here. A deathly breath instantly hit. It turned out that Cody was waving his fist and charging down. This punch directly embedded Ryan into the ground. This is just one punch from Cody without transforming. He smashed Ryan's armor and made him spit blood. Cody, interrupted while feeding, appeared exceptionally angry. He then lifted the dying Ryan into the air. At this moment, Clara on the side was already trembling with fear. She had never experienced such a powerful sense of oppression before. Even Ryan seemed completely powerless in front of him. "Don't worry, I won't kill you right away. I hope you can make me happy by letting me have some fun." He threw a heavy punch to Ryan's stomach as soon as he finished speaking. Before Clara could react from shock, Cody instantly passed by her side. When Clara turned around, Cody's heavy foot had already landed on Ryan. Then, he was inhumanely torturing Ryan. Defiant Ryan roared in agony. "Are you giving me a massage?" But the force is not enough. However, his stubbornness was only causing himself more trouble. Cody only saw him grab Ryan's head. "Since you can't make me happy, then just go die." But at that moment, a clone suddenly appeared behind Ryan. The clone wrapped around Cody's arm and lifted his head, about to devour him. Cody had no choice but to throw Ryan aside and throw a punch at the clone. But the next second, his punching arm was also controlled by several blue silks. This is Clara using her ability to restrict the opponent's movements. However, it is obvious that she cannot persist for long. The duo's skilled moves appeared like toys in his eyes. In the other side of the fighting arena, Ladybug Beast was already covered in wounds. Camel also collapsed in exhaustion on the ground. Looking at him, it was clear he wasn't taking advantage of Ladybug Beast here. Ladybug Beast stood in front of Camel and raised his middle finger. Your strength and character are far inferior to Black Ant. Before he could finish speaking, there was a loud noise as the wall behind him was smashed open. It turned out that Ryan and Clara had been thrown in from that side. This immediately caught Ladybug Beast's attention. Cody walked out slowly from inside. Camel, you took quite a beating. Camel tried to explain when he saw the situation. He was interrupted by the angry Cody. Who did this to you? You are my subordinate, Camel. Before meeting Ryan, Ladybug Beast only wanted to defeat Cody. The audience present looked confused because it was their first time seeing Boss Cody being friendly and waving to the audience. Then he looked towards Ryan and the others. You haven't eaten, have you? Camel, go and get some food for me. Camel thought he had misheard and was about to confirm again. He was stopped by Cody's gaze. Camel immediately got up and flew towards the audience stands. Ryan and the others couldn't help but be curious about what the other party was up to. They saw a figure slowly descending from above. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a human. At the moment when this person landed, his body slowly transformed into a larva. Cody had arrived behind him. The smell of it still tasted as delicious as ever. Then more and more humans turned into bug beasts fell from above.